You are making the world a better place by listening to the Joy of Living podcast. This is your guide to achieving a more purposeful, powerful, and positive life. Join Barry Shore in unlocking the best version of you and becoming happier, healthier, and wealthier. And now, here's your ambassador of joy, Barry Shore.
Good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved, immortal beings, and good-looking people. Remember, you're good-looking because you're always looking for and finding the good, and you have found good in abundance because you've chosen to tune in consciously and conscientiously to the joy of living with your humble host, Barry Shore, the ambassador of joy. Notice I didn't say the ambassador of joy. The ambassador of joy, because you know that on this show, we discuss the three fundamentals of life. And when you work with these three fundamentals of life, the result is you'll be happier, healthier, and wealthier. Who doesn't want that? That's why you tuned in. And you've joined right now at the moment by 511,622 people around the world. And by the time we bring on our amazing guests, I'm talking amazing, Rabbi Ricky, there'll be over 520,000 people that are listening. And we urge you, share this with 5 people. You want to share with 50 or 100, that's great. But at least 5 so we can touch millions of people around the planet with these wonderful insights into wisdom and living life to the full. And again, making you happier, healthier, and wealthier. So let's talk about these 3 fundamentals. Number 1, life, your life has purpose. And when you lead a purpose-driven life, number 2 happens. In this case, a good number 2, you go mad. Now, MAD is a wonderful acronym. It stands for make a difference. Lead a purpose-driven life, you make a difference in the world. And number 3 is to unlock the power and the secrets of everyday words and terms. Simple example. This show is carried over the internet. Hundreds of thousands of people listening, God willing, millions, because you're going to reach out to your families and friends. And ask anybody, what does WWW stand for? Invariably, it stands to the internet. Now, factually speaking, they're correct. However, in our world, the world of the positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant, WWW stands for what a wonderful world. And what, of course, is a word, WHETA. And a big tip of the hat and a thank you to Louis Armstrong Satchmo for enabling that song, What a Wonderful World, to go viral and touch not just tens of millions or hundreds of millions, but billions of people around the planet. Whenever you hear the opening bars of what a wonderful world, what do you do right away? You can't help it. You smile. Now, smile is one of the most important words you could ever internalize, utilize, and leverage in your life, because SMILE is a great acronym. It stands for Seeing Miracles in Life Every Day. That's right, seeing miracles in life every day. Now, I got to tell you, I'm privileged to speak to people all over the world, millions of people every month. I do in-person events also right near my home here in Henderson, Nevada. Recently, I spoke to a group of 1,127 people. I'm telling the story about Barry Shore and talking about miracles. And some people raise their hand and say, hey, Barry Shore, it's been enough hours where I haven't seen any miracles. And I asked them, are you here? Can you hear? Can you stand still? I can't do that. Can you walk? I can barely do that. You have water to drink, you have food, you have a place to sleep, family, friends. Every single one of those is a miracle. Simple, miracle. What's the proof? Simple as proof. 1 million people didn't get out of bed this morning. You know why? They died. By definition, if you're watching or listening, you didn't. Therefore, you have an obligation to live life to the full. Let me tell you a quick story. It's about me. Imagine if you can. I'm standing up in the morning, completely healthy and hearty, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. And that evening, I'm in the hospital, totally, completely paralyzed and neck down, not from an automobile accident, not a spinal injury. It was a rare disease that took over my body. Never heard of the day before, and caused me to become what's called a quadriplegic. Nothing in the body moved, completely paralyzed. I could only communicate by blinking my eyes. I was 144 days in the hospital. I was 2 years in a hospital bed in my own home. I couldn't move. 4 years in a wheelchair. I had braces on both my legs, my hips to my ankles. That was progress. Thank God today I'm able to be vertical and ambulatory with the help of a 7-foot walking line. So I'm a tripod, not a biped. Can't walk up a stair by myself. Can't walk up a curb by myself. I have help 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. But you hear my voice. Positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant all becomes with one word. One word, smile. See miracles in life every day. I get to tell you a quick story. My 8-year-old niece comes over to me a few weeks ago, and she says, Uncle Barry, can we spell smile S-M-I-E-L? I thought about it. Smile, sounds the same. Why not? I asked her, how come? She says, because then it would stand for seeing miracles in everyday life. Out of the mouth of an 8-year-old. Well, what was she doing? She was creating the kind of world that she wants to live in. Now, CREATE is a fabulous acronym that stands for causing rethinking, enabling all to excel. Rethinking is the art of shifting your perspective. Now, I got to tell you something. I've been working with people for more than 4.5 decades. And when they come to me on paper, everything is fine. When we go a little bit deeper, I find out that they drop the F in shift and the other stuff happens. You got to be effing careful with your Fs. You want to shift your perspective just a little bit. And then what will happen? You'll be able to internalize, utilize, and leverage the 6 most important words you'll ever learn. And these are choice, not chance, determines your destiny. How you choose to respond in any given situation will determine your path in life and your trajectory. Now, before we bring on our amazing guest, Rabbi Ricky Cohen, I have to warn him and other people listening, new ones, that I do use a lot of 4-letter words. I even use the 4-letter FU word. I do it for the shock value, and it's fun. Now, of course, the 4-letter words that we use, because we live in the world of the positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant, these 4-letter words are love, life, hope, play, free, gift, swim. And the 4-letter FU word is fun. That's right, FU, capital N, capital N. So after the show, you see family and friends, twinkle in your eyes, smile in your face, point your fingers, say, FU, everybody. But remember to add right away, capital N, capital N. Say, where'd you get that? So I just Barry Shore and the joy of living. And wait till you hear what I learned from Rabbi Ricky. You got their attention. Now you can share something with them. So before we bring on wonderful Rabbi Ricky, and he is wonderful, I want everybody to do the following for your benefit, to make you happier, healthier, and wealthier. I want you to use the 2 most powerful words in the English language 3 times a day from now and the rest of your life. You want to use it consciously and conscientiously. These 2 words are thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank stands for to harmonize and nurture kindness. To harmonize and nurture kindness. KIND is a fabulous acronym that stands for keep inspiring noble deeds. I can't think of anyone that inspires noble deeds more than the man I'm introducing to you right now. Wonderful, amazing, fabulous, beloved Rabbi Ricky Cohen. Rabbi Ricky, please say hello to 521,716 people around the world.
Hi, dear Barry, and all of your fantastic students and friends and followers. It's great to be on your show. Thank you.
So if you are privileged to be watching as well as listening, you are seeing a beatific smile emanating of sight. Yes, for me, but for him, Rabbi Ricky Cohen is truly a gift to the world. Now, if I start to tell you all the wonderful things about him, we'll take the rest of the show. I'm going to give you 3 data points. Number 1 is he talks about and lives and teaches wisdom, not just being smart, wisdom. Number 2, he's been in every aspect of life. He's a rabbi, which means he delves deeply into what we call wisdom literature. Number 2, he's been in business, and the vicissitudes and the transformations of business can rock anybody's soul. He's been through it. And number 3, married happily with a wonderful family and a community. And I'm just so honored and blessed to have him share with us today his insights that are going to really make a difference in your life. He's a madman. He makes a difference. So wonderful, Rabbi Ricky. Let's just jump right in and discuss something that I know is very dear to your heart because it touches every aspect of life. And that is being an entrepreneur.
All right. Awesome. Thanks again, Barry. Life is, as we say, it's a challenge and an opportunity, but what we want to be doing is looking just minimally below the surface to identify the core skills and strengths that we have. Everybody has things he or she does naturally well. And then to take those things and reach beyond myself, beyond what I've achieved to the moment, into new territory, into a new frontier, and attempt something new. Again, most people use 7 to 10% of their brains, right? My question is, how much of your soul, of your spirit, of your eternal mark, how much of that have you utilized? Is it more than 7 to 10%? For some people, it may not be, because they haven't taken that walk on the beach or in the park or in the beautiful place you live and thought about a simple question. I'm tooled with certain things naturally. They come to me easily. A. B. There are certain things I care about. Now, other people may not, and they don't have to impact the world to the massive extent that you have, and God willing, you continue to build, and maybe they will. But if I connect the things that I do naturally well to what I care about and what I'd like to express that's beyond myself, I become that perpetual entrepreneur. And nothing makes life harder, and nothing makes life better, and nothing makes life richer, and nothing makes life happier. As we've noted, in ancient languages, there is no term for retire. Someone should never retire. Someone should continue to go down up a road of self-discovery. What have I built? What does that mean right now? What are my new aspirations? My father, may he rest in peace, died at 95. One of the rabbis who eulogized him at the funeral said a fascinating thing, and we never thought about it until that minute. He said that the greatest years in Abe Cohen's life as a community leader and a business person, the most successful years were from the ages of 67 to 94. And when we thought about it, it was true. We never attached an age to my dad because he was a superstar. He was a perpetual builder. And you know what he was building? The things that expressed his core strengths and what he cared about. By the way, just parenthetically, there's no word in ancient languages for vacate or vacation, because the reality is, if I've identified what my core strengths are and I'm building those things, why vacate? Why take time off? I'm having a great time. In fact,
you're having too much fun.
I'm having too much fun. Take off time, vacate what? People ask me, do you go to Florida? I said, what's Florida? I live in Brooklyn, man, where it's nice and cold, and the congestion is horrific and all those other great things, yeah? My granddaughter came into town one day. She lives out in Jersey, big shot, and she turned to her mother and said, Mommy, there's no background here. I told her, you're right, honey, there is no grass in Brooklyn. Get used to it. But you know what? We are building and we are doing. And okay, I very much value what you're doing, Barry.
Let's unpack a few things for the audience. Again, we have a worldwide audience. People from Bhutan, from the Congo, from all over Latin America, of course, the United States, all over. And I want to talk to you about two pieces that you mentioned that are really powerful for the individual. First of all, the individual asking oneself questions. That's a big thing with Rabbi Ricky. We'll go deeper in just a little bit. Right now, I want to talk about two things. Number one, you mentioned self-discovery. Right. And when you talk about self-discovery, you talked about the core, who you are in the core. Now, interestingly enough, when you're dealing with physical exercises, Pilates is a big thing these days, or you're dealing with going to the gym and you have a personal trainer. Again, personal trainer is helping you discover your unique abilities. What are you better at? Your arms, legs, etc. Everybody, though, every trainer talks about developing core strength.
That's right.
And that's what you're getting to right now, Rabbi Ricky, the core and the ability to look at oneself and analyze with pencil and paper. If you have to use a computer, you can do that. It's better than just speaking it out and imagining. Use a pencil, paper, and literally write down what those things are that are truly your strengths. It may be that you can speak. It may be that you know how to smile better. It may be that your core values are rooted in things that you want to accentuate and therefore never, as you say, retire or vacate. So let's go a bit deeper and talk about the challenge of the core, because here's where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
People, most of the time, don't like being uncomfortable.
Right.
In other words, you said Brooklyn. So your daughter comes in and says, "Where's the grass?" That makes her uncomfortable. There's no grass.
Right.
And you used it and said, "My dear beloved daughter, look what we're building." In other words, open your eyes to what really is growing. It's not necessarily grass. And it's not, and by the way, when you talk about building, it's not necessarily structures. It's the human condition.
That's right.
We, Rabbi Ricky and myself, I'm privileged to be a friend of his, we are builders of humanity. We love the ability to touch another human. So let's go deeper into the core.
Let's go deeper. Fabulous. The human being is inherently great, unconditionally great. Now, I want to be very clear on this. I've built large companies. I started a company virtually from scratch, built it to one of the most successful companies in the country with thousands of people working for me. I've taught tens of thousands of people in several countries around the world. And there's one core element that's the toughest for people to integrate and own, and it's where everything starts. And it took me decades to own it. Even when I was teaching it, I didn't fully own it. And that is that I am inherently, unconditionally great. Now, that will never lead to hubris. It will never lead to arrogance. It will never create narcissism. The human being was created with a natural mandate and with a natural definition. So now we live in the greatest country in the history of the world. Far from perfect, but America is the greatest country in the history of the world. In America, we see something happen very often. People go like this. They had a great day or a good period in their business or their career efforts, they're up here. They had a lesser good day, they're down here. And what do we see in people? We see this constantly. So they're either very self-affirmed and confident, or they're beating themselves up. They either feel a great sense of who they are, or the opposite. Now, if that fabulous forever love, potential forever love, right? That potential, partner came into someone's life when she was down here in terms of her sense of self and love of self, she would feel unworthy of the person and probably turn her back. Or if a great career or business opportunity came when someone who doesn't have a sense of his unconditional greatness was feeling lowly because they came to a difficult period, they would turn away and say, I can't make that career opportunity work. Therefore, one of the fundamentals that we teach in our workshops, in our Entrepreneur Forever workshop, the cornerstone of the program, and the reality is the most difficult thing for people to own, and that's why we work it till they own it, is a sense of inherent and unconditional greatness. Has nothing to do with the negatives that we attach to hubris or narcissism. In fact, it's fundamental and core and an immovable point of self-love and truth. And therefore, if I understand who I am, if I bring on the challenges, let me move into new places. People look at me and tell me, at this point in your life, you're starting up this massive new project. I think I'm not hearing them, because I tell them at this point in my life, I have 10 projects behind this, and I'm just getting warmed up.
Yes. Okay. Let me put you on pause. I want to mention 3 things all in a row. First of all, don't take any notes. Just lean in. Experience, Rabbi Ricky. This isn't just gold and diamonds. This is forever. This is transformation. This is a T word. Number 2, I want everybody to hear what he said. Inherently, you are great. And I'm going to make a note here. We'll come back after the break. He didn't say inherently you're good. We'll leave that completely aside. That's a very different discussion and judgmental. You are great. That is fundamental, and I can prove it. You were created by the Creator. The Creator doesn't make junk. Okay,
that's right.
Number three, we have wonderful sponsors that love us. We wouldn't have them on if we didn't vet them, think they're worthy of your time. We'll be right back with more Rabbi Ricky right after this message. Don't go away.
Hello, skincare connoisseurs. If you think you have tried everything in skincare, you are going to love what I am about to tell you. I'm pharmacist Benjamin I. Fuchs. I'm a dermatology pharmacist. And what I've discovered in my compounding pharmacy after decades of working with patients with skin traumas and skin diseases is the missing link in skincare is topical essential nutrition. And because of this missing link, we're not maximizing the potential of topical skincare. We're leaving skin beauty and skin health on the table. And that's why I formulated my Truth Treatments. Listen, the skin's an organ. It needs and wants and craves nutrients, vitamins, minerals, amino acids, fatty acids, and plant-derived minerals, and now it can get them in super high concentrations in my Truth Treatments. Originally formulated for dermatologists and their patients, now they're available to you. Check them out today at truthtreatments.com, and I know you are going to love the truth.
Good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved immortal beings, and good-looking people. If you're good-looking, someone's looking for and finding the good. Our cup runneth over with good. His name is Rabbi Ricky Cohen. He's in a place where there ain't no grass, but that's okay because grass doesn't grow up around him. He's building. He's not just building buildings. He is building people. He is inherently great. And he's sharing that message with everybody in the world. You see, not just Americans, not just Jews, everybody in the world, because you are the embodiment of what the Creator made. And your greatness contributes to the world. We need you to step into your greatness and embrace the world of challenge. Because when you do that, you won't have to have the highs and the lows. You can be literally walking on air because you know that everything about you is correct. Rabbi Ricky, I want to go into a little bit of you and challenge you in the most positive, purposeful, powerful, pleasant way. Let's discuss business for a little while, because business is, how should we say it, one of the most remarkably interesting aspects of living in the world. The business, for me, is not just transactional, it's transformational. In other words, when someone buys something, or someone else sells something, it looks like it's just a transaction of digits, money, etc. For me, it's transformational that human beings are interacting. Even if it's done with digits, doesn't matter. There's something there about a service, about a product that's being transferred. And that makes all the difference. I'd like to talk about your world when you built Conway from an idea into a business, into a very large business, and the challenges that you faced.
Right. Great. Conway was actually started by my dad in the 1930s. When I joined after NYU, I went to NYU, graduated.
By the way, NYU is New York University.
NYU, New York University, Stern College for Business, graduated with double major in 3 years with honors, joined my father's company. He quickly and very deliberately handed me the broom and he said, get to work. A couple of days later, as I was sweeping the floor in our Broadway store, all my superstar scholar NYU fellow graduate school students at the time walked in and saw me sweeping the floor. And we talk about it, laugh about it till this day. At the time, it was a small company, 5 stores, 100 employees. I had a vision. I presented it to my father and 2 brothers. They simply but directly told me that my ideas were crazy. They were all somewhat upset by it. And they agreed to fund me staying in school and studying in institutions of higher education for as long as I wanted to stay.
As long as you didn't bother.
As long as I didn't come back into the stores, right? Keep the broom on your way out. Take the broom on your way out. Anyway, made believe the conversation didn't happen. And we started to put a program in place to take this beautiful formula that had been somewhat proven, but proven on a very limited level, and blow it up. And the cornerstone, there were two cornerstone elements to it. The first one was fantastic product, great quality, the right colors, the right fabric at excellent prices. That was number one, right? The next element was people, right?
Right.
And we went from 100 people to thousands of people. We had the lowest employee turnover in the retail industry in the United States of America, even though we operated in the most rough and tumble neighborhoods in the country. We had the lowest shrink. We had the lowest theft, because theft on a retail level is overwhelmingly internal, but our people were part of a family. So they didn't take what wasn't theirs. We had the highest inventory turn in the industry by far. We had the highest sales per square foot by far. When I walked into a store and I looked around at the 150 or 200 employees of that particular store, I knew most of them by name. People joined us. We were, for many thousands of people, we gave them their first job in this country. We promoted them. We built them. We trained them. We gave them the ability to dream. Poor people had nothing. We gave them the ability to dream, to understand who they were. The inherent sense of greatness is not a dollar and cents thing. It's an inherent thing. It's to every human being.
I want to put you on pause for a moment, because this is, again, I urge you, please, people, don't take notes. Don't write anything down. Experience Rabbi Ricky. Everything's going to be in the show notes. The reason we record this, so you can go back again and listen and pause just whenever you want, make notes and do it again. And if you're really good and smart, you'll do it the third time. I want to make mention here of something. Oftentimes people tune into the joy of living because people love the great information we're giving them. Information is readily available on the internet. Hello, we got information overload, in my humble opinion. People come in, they say, wow, inspiration. I love Barry's show. It's so fabulous. Inspiration is wonderful. We all know inspiration like Chinese food. A couple hours later, you need more, right? Everything we do here at The Joy of Living is about the T word, transformation.
Right.
And what you're hearing today from Rabbi Ricky, and I'm touched by this, I'm crying when I'm hearing this, because I'm seeing you interacting with human beings, the people that you employ. And you mentioned two things that are critical to success in any business and any aspect of life, whether it's the family or it's a business, doesn't matter. Trusting people,
right,
building people, so that the two main problems in the retail world, in any business, go away. That's right. Shrinkage, a fun word for theft.
Right.
It goes away because people recognize, as he says, we infuse them with who they really are.
Fabulous.
Great. And if I'm great, I can't steal.
That's great.
I'm great.
Great. Excellent. Beautiful.
What you did, you transformed people, and they became an extension of Rabbi Ricky and Conway and what it stands for. And by the way, I'm going to make a mention here, and I say this with the most powerful praise. What you're saying is what Sam Walton did. Sam Walton, people don't know, he started Walmart. You know, what Walmart was built on the principles that Rabbi Ricky says, because the principles are eternal. I want to emphasize that because I want you to use this as a jumping off point a little bit later to talk about what you work with and you teach and your one-to-one and program, affinity program. These are eternal values.
That's right.
Because they're based in being positive, purposeful, powerful, pleasant, honest, great. So I wanted to interrupt you because I wanted people to understand that what you're discussing here with Conway, and now, by the way, I'm hoping that your father and your brothers are saying, hey, Ricky, not bad. So
I hope so. I hope so.
You say, you can have the broom back.
I can tell you, otherwise I got the broom inside. I'll just grab it and get back to work. Either way is okay. So what we've done at this point, we had a fantastic run in Conway. There was a time to move on, which I did. Got involved in real estate, mixed-use real estate in New York City. We built a very substantial portfolio. Got clobbered during the subprime bust in 2008, 2010. Learned a lot from that. On and on. A number of different business efforts. Some were massively successful, thank God. Some were failures, thank God. And the reality is, throughout that time, I've been teaching. When I was 19, I taught 18-year-olds. When I was 30, I developed a curriculum for young adult male teenagers at risk who had fallen off the screen from an academic point of view, and I taught them ancient principles that people have used since the beginning of human time to build great successes. I taught that in a number of high schools in Brooklyn for a number of years to senior boys who had basically checked out. We created CEOs, corporate leaders, community builders, political leaders, from people that the academic system had written off. Use these core systems. I took it to Baruch College. All this was pro bono, by the way. Took it to Baruch College and taught a management group of students from 34 countries. These kids were working one, dear Barry, they were working one, and in many cases, 2 jobs. But they wanted to build and they wanted to grow, and I loved them all, and they were great. We then took it to Chase Bank. We took it to Morgan Stanley. We took it to the Children's Place retailer. We took it to the United States Navy. And now what we're doing is we're focusing on the overall effort of building people. And that's why people like you, who have built millions of people, are cherished by me and by my students. We love you. We revere what you've done. We revere your courage. We revere your vision. And you're just getting started, man.
Absolutely.
You're just getting started. So you just better keep going. Yeah? That's how it works.
I want to make a mention of something that I was blessed to learn from my father, and I'd like you to speak about it just for a couple of minutes. I tell you the quick story. So I grew up in a place called Brookline, Massachusetts, which is adjacent to Boston. If you look it up on a map, Boston, Massachusetts has very cold in the winter with lots of snow oftentimes. And when I was growing up, of course, there's no internet and things like that. At least 2 times a year, you have massive snowstorms, 6, 8, 10, 12 inches of snow. Right. Listen to the radio, they're going to call it snow. Yay, John D. Runkle, school's closed. Wonderful. So you get choices. You can go back to sleep. You can play games. Or like me, you get bundled up, long underwear, coats, and earmuffs, and all kinds of stuff, gloves, and go out at 7:15 in the morning because they may have called off school, but that doesn't mean that people who live in houses and apartments have to go to work still because they're going to plow the streets. And so I'm bundled up. I'm going to shovel snow because this is going back 70 years more. I was 9 years old, 68 years. And I go out, I'm making 25 cents a week for allowance. So I went out on this particular snowstorm and I knocked on doors. I learned a lot about how to sell, how to say no, how to do things. Anyway, I come back, I go to 7:15, came back about 5:20. It's already dark. And my father is there making me a cup of hot chocolate. It was wonderful. And he said to me, my dear beloved son, he used to like saying that. My dear beloved son, I told him how much I made. I made $55.
Oh,
I got paid 25 cents. I made $55 68 years ago. Okay, that's money.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a while. My dear beloved son, how do you spell the word business? I'm smart, 9-year-old. B-U-S-I-N-E-S-S. He says, that's right. Notice something. The U comes before the I. When you go out into the world and you take care of the others, of the yous, the I will always be taken care of.
I love it.
It took me decades to internalize it. However, the point is what you've been talking about, Rabbi Ricky. When you're there to serve, and that's what you're about. We're talking about here about service. Service, business is service.
That's right.
Teaching is service. Sharing is service. And there's not enough that you can do. You can never exhaust it. Matter of fact, the more you give, the stronger you get. Am I correct on that, Rabbi Ricky?
Do good and do well. Do good and do well. We take first stage entrepreneurs and we tell them they have to commit at least an hour a week to a greater good. And they come to me and tell me, what are you talking about? I don't have $1. I'm starting my business from scratch. You want me to divert my time and attention to a greater good? Of course. You want to be a builder? You have to be a giver. You have to be compassionate. You have to be non-judgmental. You have to be willing to open up your heart. And if you're not willing to do that, then you won't build. And the good guys finish first. That's the truth. Sometimes it takes a drop longer because the less than good guys may have trampled on some things and achieved some short-lived things, but the good guys invariably win. And that's why when we train young entrepreneurs, we've taken many people, thousands of people at this point, from 0 to 1, from not being able to articulate an idea and not knowing their core strengths, to identifying their core strengths, learning how to articulate a precious what without burdening it with the how, and then launch. And then we help build them as people so that they're expressive in all areas. And as we teach, dear Barry, they have to be entrepreneurs in all areas. They have to be entrepreneurs in career, but what comes before that, as we talked about, in their own personal self-love and development. Try it. Go for it. New territory, like you said, new day. In love and relationships, people come to me and tell me, I'm married 10 years, I'm married 20 years. I don't have the passion and the intimacy and the laughter we once had. I look at them, I don't know what they're talking about. I don't get it. But I do get it because they've been punching the clock, so to speak. They haven't been looking at that other person, the person they love, as their student and teacher, discovering more about them, being a risk taker, finding new ways to express my love and my intimacy and my passion, finding new ways to laugh together. By the way, those are all risky because your partner may not get it, but that's okay because that's what we do and that's how we build.
Okay. If you'll notice, there is one word that is moving through this conversation that has come up at least 3 dozen times, maybe more. And the word is build. That's so right. I'm going to mention to you, wonderful Rabbi Ricky, as my father taught me, notice that in the word build, the U comes before the I.
Great. Perfect. That's perfect.
Barry,
I'm really humbled by your effort, by the gift card effort. I want to learn more about it. I want to bring our students in on it. Could you tell me a little bit more about that?
Well, we'll discuss that at another time. I want to focus on you.
All right. But I want to tell you something. The little I know about it so far, it's gutsy, it's bold, it's creative, it's fabulous. And we hope, God willing, to lend our efforts to it. And it's something that can touch everybody all over the world. My only criticism of you on that, dear Barry, is your goal to get $1 billion to charity is too low.
Oh, man.
Let's go.
Well, that's our starting point. Let's talk about the word risk, because I think you used it in the most loving way possible. Right. The ability to recognize that life is inherently a risk.
Of course.
Let's be blunt. Again, using me as an example, I got up I'm in the morning. I'm completely healthy. Everything's going along nicely. I had built companies on the internet, sold them to other companies. I made a lot of money. I was fairly famous in my own little world and doing great. And then in the evening, I'm completely paralyzed. Well, that's what's called life. It's a risk. Here's the amazing thing. Because I had built myself, because of my family, my friends, and my situation, and my looking in the world in the way of good looking, always looking for and finding the good, my risk now was, okay, dear Lord, what am I supposed to do? So risk is inherent in life.
Absolutely.
Therefore, to think that one is risking money, oh, big deal. Okay, comes and goes, it flows. Emotions. Now that's a little bit more tricky, interesting.
Yeah.
Because you're risking your emotions with, like you said, the person that you're married to 5, 10, 15
You may not
years.
get it.
You know,
She loves you, but she may not get it. But
Right.
if you're not going to take a risk and deepen it and go out there and express it with a term you've never used before or a gesture you haven't used before, how can the relationship change? And you know what? Sometimes you're going to be disappointed. You're going to be hurt. She's not going to get it. And then she may not get it 4 times or 10, but you have to be working it. You know, I teach my students the following thing. An anniversary is an incredibly important day. Why? Because we believe that we're supposed to be going up. Life is an upwardly moving spiral. So what does the anniversary give me the opportunity to do? To look at where I am this year versus where I was the same date last year and quantify the growth and the furtherance in the relationship or whatever it might be. We do things like this when we evaluate the last quarter or the previous year in a business. Business is nice, but it ain't relationships. Relationships are 1,000 times more important. So why wouldn't I look at the love that I share with my spouse on this very special day where we're celebrating everything we have, our anniversary, and say, okay, I moved it this much. Now how am I going to move it next year? And the same way I put a plan for my business, which is important, but nowhere near as important as my relationship with my spouse, with my children. I have to put a plan in place for my love and relationships, and I have to be willing to stick my neck out. And sometimes I'm going to be hurt and disappointed. I'm going to tell you a very quick thing.
One moment. Let me put you on pause because again, we have sponsors. They love the show. We wouldn't have them on if we didn't think they're worthy. Hey, we're on the edge of a cliff. He's going to give us some new insight in love. We'll be right back after this brief message. Don't go away. Rabbi Ricky is coming back. Opportunity. What an opportunity. I'm going to use 2 4-letter words right now. Free gift. Free gift. Yes. You can have a copy of my best-selling book, The Joy of Living, How to Slay Stress and Be Happy, the ebook version for absolutely free. All you have to do is send an email to me, Barry, B-A-R-R-Y, at barryshore.com, and in the heading, the subject line, just write, free gift. It's as easy as that. This is a life-changing, life-enhancing opportunity. Barry at barryshore.com. You'll be glad you did. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Free gift. Do it now. Take the action. Make it happen right now. Best wishes. Bye. Good day. Beautiful, bountiful, beloved, immortal beings, and good-looking people. If you're good-looking, so always looking for and finding the good. You found good in abundance. His name is wonderful Rabbi Ricky. You have been exposed. Open up. Revelation here to understand what it means to live life to the full. Life stands for living inspirationally for eternity. That's what Rabbi Ricky is talking to us about. He's talking to us about love. Love stands for living on vibrant energy. He left us with, what are you going to share with us now, wonderful Rabbi Ricky?
There's a fascinating piece in the Talmud that says that if there hasn't been a hiccup or a disappointment in your life in the previous 40 days, you should worry. What? 1 second. If there hasn't been a setback, if I haven't stumbled, if I haven't been made frightened by a something that I didn't anticipate, if there hasn't been some level of failure, I should worry. And the answer is yes, you should worry. You know why? It means you don't need much anymore. You're coasting. When you take a step back, life will step away from you and stop challenging you. And that's the last thing we want. When I was teaching Baruch, I taught them that I wish them all a giant public failure as soon as possible. That was one of my teaching points in the Entrepreneur Forever course. When they heard it the first time, they were cringing. A few of them wanted to run away. But by the end, they understood that failure is great. Failure is an enabler. It empowers me. It means I'm a risk taker. I love it. The biggest pride I have is not the trophies on my walls. It's all the badges of mistakes that I've made that fill this massive sack on my back. And you know what? If the failure is public, it's even better, because it means everything was taken from me. They all saw it. They stripped me naked. And now, you know what? There ain't nothing that's going to hold me back. There's nothing that's going to frighten me. I'll tell you something. At the end of the term, that there's one educator's phrase that gets the great distinction of being on the back of the graduate sweatshirt, and I got it. I wish you all a giant public failure ASAP. And you know what? I wish all of your dear listeners the same thing. And it's not because I don't care deeply for everyone.
Right.
It's because it's a liberator. And I should never be afraid. Never be afraid. To your point, Barry, you've said it to millions of people. Life is spectacular. Life is so rich. Believe in it. Trust in it. Build with it. Don't be afraid. Come on. If you can't look back on the last 40 days and say, you know what, I tried something and I learned a lot and I moved a lot and I did a lot, but you know what, I had a little bit of setback, you're not doing anything. You're not doing anything. And that's the way we got to be living, perpetually building.
Rabbi Ricky, why do you think that in America specifically, and in other wealthy places around the world, but America specifically, people, especially younger people, because they tell me, people say they feel alone.
Yeah.
Why do people feel so lonely?
They're right. They're right. People are more alone than ever. And it's because we've become educators, for example, and not people builders. We're starting a new school, a new business school, the Advanced School for Business. And we educated 77 professors we interviewed 77 professors to fill 3 spots from some of the finest schools in the country. And you know what? I went to see a number of their classes. They don't look at the students. Forget about know their name. They barely look at them. I sat in one class with a toply rated professor in the New York area, 42 students in the class. For an hour and 15 minutes, 3 were engaged. 39 were on their laptops doing something else. So why are people alienated? Because their educators are dumping information on them rather than attempting to help them get inside their own minds and hearts like you do and grow. So people are alone when it comes to education. Unfortunately, our political leaders have become very angry and cynical. List me one political leader who you would take an image in your mind and say, this is a loving, embracing personality. We don't have them. How could it be? What happened? So when my political leader, when my mayor or my president or whomever, and I'm not judging anybody right now and here, I'm not. And I'm not creating any, but when my leaders, and it's across the spectrum these days, are so angry and so cynical and so negative, what do you want from the people? They feel alone. They are alone. And that's where you, on your massive platform, and me on my platform, we have a very, very demanding responsibility. And that is to touch people again in their hearts and to make them feel the love that is natural to the human condition that has been stripped away from a lot of great people. How could it be that America is so depressed? We're a spectacular country. How could it be that we're on hundreds of millions of antidepressants a year? How could it be? How could it be that the suicide rates are what they are? Where are we? How dare we? Love your student. Love your employee. Doesn't mean you don't demand of them. In fact, if you love them, you're going to demand a lot more of them. But to be proper and cold and or cynical and negative, our children are paying a massive price. They feel so alone. They feel there's so much pain, and we have to stop it. The educators have to connect to the kids. So what if the kid, I asked one educator, I said, you taught this entire book, 1,000-page book to your students over the course past year. How much of that do you think they're going to carry with them after they graduate? You know what he himself told me? Zero. Zero. Zero, you taught it. So what the heck did you do with them for all that time? But you could have taken that time, instead of teaching 1,000 pages, maybe you teach 100, and give the person the tools to realize his self-love, his unique identity, his inherent power, his capacity. Come on, isn't that education?
Yes.
Education, what is? What is?
Okay, again, those of you who have taken my advice and used it, you've been leaning in and listening to Rabbi Ricky. You've gained more in this past hour than you have probably in the past 2, 3, 5 years. I want to make mention something on this word alone. And the people who've been watching and following me for years know this, and I get a lot of good response from it. One of the issues is that most people mispronounce the word. It's spelled A-L-O-N-E. It's really pronounced, in my world, our world, all one.
Wow.
When you recognize that you are all one with the universe, and it goes back how we began this. Remember how we began? You're inherently great.
That's right.
When you know, not just intellectually, and you connected your heart and your mind, that inherently you are great by definition because you've been made by the Creator. The word is all one. Fabulous. Just like in the Jewish tradition, there's a day that is mispronounced. They call it the Day of Atonement. And really, it's the day of at-one-ment.
I love it. I love it. I love that. I love
that. It's the unification of you with the world. Rabbi Ricky, I'm a little bit loath to say the words I'm about to articulate. They must be done because this is how we run things here. It's a world. We're cognizant of time. So I have 3 quick questions for you. We're coming to a close in our time together. 3 quick questions. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Number 1, will you come back again?
I would love to. Thank you.
Thank you. Number 2, wonderful Rabbi Ricky, you have 80 seconds to answer this question. What is your most fervent desire?
To build people, to bring people levels of self-fulfillment, self-love, a natural sense of happiness. You know, people should be having a great time in life. They really should. Life, to your point earlier, was not meant to be perfect. But if I'm having a great time and I'm inherently happy and I have a sense of my self-greatness, that's my goal and that's my dream, and we're going to achieve it.
Woo! Did you hear that last part? We're going to achieve it. During one of the breaks, I came up with an acronym for your name. May I share it with you?
Of course.
Ricky, R-I-C-K-Y. Rejuvenating insights, causing kindness wisely.
Wow. Wow.
Because that's what you do.
Wow. That's
right?
Awesome.
Causing kindness wisely. Ladies, everybody knows, people watching, that our acronym for the word joy is Journey of You. And you've learned much today about the journey of you, how beautiful and bountiful and beneficent and magnificent it is, because it's you. And when you are the best you make the world a better place. So I want to ask the 3rd question, which is, may I give you a hug in front of 521,917 people around the world?
Absolutely. And I'm giving one right back to you. And to your point, there's few things better in the world than a great, great hug. So you got it right back.
HUG stands for heartfelt, unlimited giving. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Love it. Thank you.
Remember, you're watching and listening to The Joy of Living. The humble host, Barry Shore, the ambassador of joy, wonderful Rabbi Ricky Cohen. And this show is not about Ricky Cohen, great guy that he is. It's not about Barry Shore, fabulous fellow. This show is about you, Y-O-U. You becoming the best you possible, because when you are the best you make the world a better place. You build more bridges of harmony, create more joy, happiness, peace, and love in the world. And when you do that, you live the three principles. Remember, number one, life has purpose. Lead a purpose-driven life, you go mad. You make a difference. Number three, unlock the power and the secrets of everyday words and terms. You'll be happier, healthier, and wealthier. WWW, what a wonderful world. Smile. Seeing miracles in life every day, as my 8-year-old niece says, seeing miracles in everyday life. Create the kind of world you want to live in. Causing rethinking. Listen to Rabbi Ricky. Causing rethinking, enabling all to excel. When you do that, you'll be able to internalize, utilize, and leverage the 6 most important words you'll ever learn. And these are choice, not chance, determines your destiny. How you respond in any given situation determines your destiny in life and your trajectory. Use 4-letter words. Positive, purposeful, powerful, pleasant 4-letter words. Love, life, hope, play, free, gift, swim, and tell the world to F you. Capital N, capital N. So after the show, you see a family and friend, point your finger, smile on your face, twinkle in your eye, F you, everybody, and say, where'd you get that? Say, wait till I tell you about Rabbi Ricky. Build, because you're great.
Awesome.
And a blessing from Rabbi Ricky and Barry. Our blessing to you is go forth, live exuberantly, spread the seeds of joy, happiness, peace, and love. Go mad. Go make a difference. Rabbi Ricky, don't go away.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Joy of Living podcast. Now that's another step towards your healthier, happier, and wealthier life. Never hesitate to do good in the world, no matter what the situation. Join us for another upbeat discussion next time at barryshore.com. And be sure to leave a rating and subscribe to the show to get more conversations like this. And remember to share it with your family and friends too. See you on the next episode.